Many congratulations to the top three qualifiers for the 2020 FIA Formula One Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. Starting in third place will be Lewis Hamilton, in second place Valtteri Bottas, and our pole sitter for tomorrow's 55-lap race, Max Verstappen. Max, many congratulations. Pole number 3 of your career and your first of 2020. You're in a different seat here in the press conference. Just how sweet was that final lap of Q3?
Yeah, it's nice for once to sit in this seat. But I hand, so I had to do another lap. But yeah, then also in the mediums was a bit tricky, but we managed to get our lap in. And then yeah, in Q3 it wasn't too bad. And this track has so many corners, so it's very easy to make a mistake. It's a bit like Singapore, where every corner just follows up. But
much harder than last week.
Yeah, yeah, it was quite a lot harder than last week.
But Max, just how good was that pole lap at the end there?
It was good enough, luckily. But it was, I crossed the line and I saw, of course, I was moving up, but there were still a few cars behind me. But yeah, it feels nice. I mean, the whole year we were closing in a little bit. And I missed out a few times, and then finally, to at least sit here once after, of course, the dominance they had throughout the year, I think is very nice for us and for the whole team as well. It's been a very long season in a short period of time, a lot of races. So I think everyone actually also, they won the break, but to have pole position here is for sure a good motivation for everyone in the team to try and finish it off tomorrow.
Well, Max, the race has been won from pole for the last 5 years. How confident are you of the RB16's race pace?
Well, we'll find out tomorrow, to be honest. I'm not... I'm not... I will have a look in what we can do. But I think not a lot of people actually had a proper long run because of the red flag we had. So it will be interesting tomorrow. I mean, I'll do my best. It seems like our top speed this weekend is not too bad, and that's always nice. But yeah, for sure, Valtteri and Lewis, they will be very close, and it will be a good battle, hopefully.
Good stuff. Thank you, Max. Good luck tomorrow. Valtteri, coming to you, so close in the end. You were a matter of hundreds behind Max. Just how good was your final lap of Q3?
I think, like Max said, here it's obviously extremely difficult to get a perfect lap. That's ultimately always the target. But yeah, you can always find, a couple of hundreds here and there. So obviously, yes, could have done better job. It wasn't too bad. But I think the main issue was really, as the session was going on, I felt like it was getting more and more difficult. And in Q3, I was surprised how little, we could extract lap time with, better track and everything. So yeah, maybe struggled a bit with the front end of the car towards the end of the quali, maybe with the track temp dropping. But ultimately, I think today, especially Red Bull being really quick on the soft tire, and I think we've kind of lacked a bit with extracting more from the soft compared to the medium. So I think that's something to learn for the future. But anyways, it's the race tomorrow, and it's going to be a close one, I think, at least between us three.
You've explained the one-lap pace. How confident are you in your long runs after Friday?
In general, we have a strong package, no matter which track. I think everyone's long running was compromised, but we know we have a strong car, and I felt more comfortable with the medium tire. So hopefully we can have a good pace, and I'm sure we will fight for the win.
Good stuff. Thank you, Valtteri. Lewis, coming to you. Welcome back. Great to see you again.
Thank you.
Unbelievably close at the top there. Less than a tenth of a second separating the top three. What's your feeling after this session?
Just happy to be back, just grateful. Congrats to Max. He did a great job today, and I don't think it's about talking about whether or not you had a good lap or not, or whether you could have done more. At the end of the day, Max did the job today, and we just have to focus to tomorrow, and I'm just, as I said, just grateful to be back, and whilst probably not 100%, I still gave it my all.
quick word about Q1. We saw you run wide at the beginning of Q1. Was the car carrying any damage for the remainder of the session?
It did have a little bit of damage, yeah. It's the first time I'd gone wide there all weekend, so just a little bit of damage to the floor, but nothing that it wouldn't have. I don't think if that hadn't been damaged that I would have got pole. I'm sure it doesn't help, but no, nonetheless the guys did a good job to try and patch it up, and they'll fix it overnight.
Good stuff. Thank you, Lewis. Let's go to the video conference now, and we'll start, please, with Christian Nimmervoll from motorsport.com.
Thank you, Tom. My question is to Valtteri. Valtteri, it was a bit unusual that Toto came on the radio in the end, because he always says he doesn't interfere usually with proceedings. What was the reason behind that?
What would I say this reason? I mean, he can always talk to us if he wants. Yeah, the last days we've had a chat about different things, and you know, we're a team, and we support each other. If we feel like, you know, you can support another person in the team with encouragement or certain words, you do it. I would do the same for any team member. So nothing more than that. I think it's more of a personal thing. So.
Thank you, Valtteri. Next, please, we'll go to Ben Hunt from The Sun, please.
Thanks, Tom. Question to Lewis. Just wonder how you're feeling. We haven't caught up with you since you tested positive. I just wondered how bad your experience was, how bad your symptoms were, and you know how you're feeling now. Whether you think that it will impact your race tomorrow. Obviously, breathing difficulty is one of the symptoms and problems that you do have with COVID. I just wonder if that can impact you on the race.
Yeah, well, I think naturally I don't necessarily want to go into too much of detail of it all, but like I said already in Australia, just how serious the virus is, and I can really feel for those who have suffered from it, those that have lost ones from it, and I can understand how, because it's a nasty virus. I'm not 100%. I still have some the feeling within my lungs, but nonetheless, normally I would drive even if one of my arms was hanging off. That's what we do as racing drivers, and luckily that's not the case. So it definitely won't be the easiest of races physically. I mean, but I will manage and give it absolutely everything I've got.
Thank you, Lewis. We'll go next to Christian Manat, please, from Motorsport Magazine.
Thanks, Tom. First of all, Lewis, it's great to have you back. Question for all three of you. It was a pretty strange result. I think the McLaren was only 2/10 off the pole position today. Did you expect something like this qualifying result after FP3 when we were in completely different conditions? We saw the Red Bull was fastest, but did you expect Max to be on top in qualifying sessions? And also to the Mercedes drivers, did you have any problems in particular, because it's not normal that McLaren is only 2/10 off? Thank you.
Max, let's start with you, please.
I thought it was going to be close, but then initially in qualifying I was struggling a little bit, but then I think we managed to turn it around a bit in Q3, so that was positive. And with the McLaren, I mean, I don't know, I haven't driven the car, so I don't know how good the car was around here, but it seemed like it was pretty decent.
Thank you. Valtteri?
I honestly think today was a lot about extracting how much you can extract off the soft tire on a single lap. As I said earlier, we've had a feeling that the medium has been kind of too good compared to the soft tire, which only means that we've not perhaps got 100% out of the single lap with the soft tire, and that can make a huge difference on this type of track. So I'm not sure as a team we made 100% out of it, and for sure there's plenty of things to learn.
Thank you. And Lewis, was it closer than you were expecting going into the session?
I wasn't expecting anything, to be honest. I expected Max to be strong. The Red Bull, I think, has looked very, very fast. Particularly the last few races, and they've always been relatively strong here. So I expected them to be fast. I think perhaps I would have thought we would have been a bit better than we were. I think it was a real struggle today, at least with my car. Really happy to see the McLaren so close, particularly with, they've got changes and they're using our engine next year. So it's great to see that they're ending the year with a good car, so that they can perhaps be in the fight with us next year. If that makes it a three-way team championship, I think that would be amazing for the fans to see.
Thank you. Next up, Luke Smith from Autosport, please.
Thank you, Tom. A question for Lewis. There's been a lot of focus on George Russell following his brilliant display in Bahrain when he stepped in for you. But we've seen again today how strong Valtteri has been all the way through this season in qualifying. How impressed have you been with Valtteri's performances through this year? Do you feel he's really been able to push you, particularly in qualifying?
I mean, I don't know how many more nice words I can say about Valtteri. I mean, I already did the last time I was in Bahrain. It's not really much. I don't think Valtteri needs to defend his performance. I don't feel like I need to. I think he, he's continued to work at it, and we've definitely had very, very close qualifyings, particularly this year. Like I said before, it's never easy being a team. Having strong teammates. It's a constant battle between yourself. You both mentally and emotionally throughout a year. And I think what's really great with us is that we fight it out hard on track, but then when we're outside, I think we manage to maintain a gentleman working relationship, and I think that's a big showing of his personality and character as a man. So I know next year he's going to be taking more steps, and so I've got to go work away and try and figure out how I can find some more speed for next year, as already this weekend he's ahead of me, so good job.
Fernando back on track. He needs to do some laps for next year.
He's doing so many laps.
Young driver.
Thanks. Next up, please, Jerome Pugmire from AP, please.
Yeah, question for Lewis. I just wanted to follow up with you on what you said a couple of weeks ago in Bahrain when you received the letters from the human rights groups and you said you'd take the time to read them. I understand you've been ill, perhaps you haven't had that much time free, but I was just wondering if you have had an opportunity to read them. 3 of them were personally addressed to you. And if you have had the time, what your feeling is about that?
Yeah, I have, of course, had more time to read them. I'd hoped after the first race to have had time to sit and address it with the Crown Prince, but I was bedridden for most of the week, so I wasn't obviously able to see anybody. So. Look, ultimately it isn't necessarily my responsibility to speak out on the places that I don't know everything about, but I think we together always have to work to push for change, for improvements. The fact is, I think the saddest thing for me was that there's a man on death row, and it's not clear. When his son writes me a letter, it really hits home, and all lives matter, and so I think there's definitely work to be done in the background, and I definitely won't let it go unnoticed. And as I said before, when I get some time now, I will definitely try and speak to those and see how I can be positive, how I can positively impact, how we can as a sport moving forwards when we go to these great places.
Mitchell, please, from the race.
Lewis, obviously I know what you said about don't want to go into your symptoms too much, and fully respect that. You mentioned that you're not feeling 100% still. Is it that the adrenaline or whatever is able to carry you through it on the lap? Do you feel it sort of, I guess, once the lap's over, when you're getting out of the car? Is that when it's hitting you a little bit?
Well, I think it's overall energy. one of the symptoms is it really drains you. So I'm trying to sleep as much as I can, but recharging is not that as easy as it perhaps normally has been in the past. I've lost a good amount of weight just in that week. So as I said, so not 100% the same as I was the last time I raced, but it's by no means going to get in the way of me going out and give it my all tomorrow.
Thank you, and we'll finish, please, with Dieter Renkin, Racing Lines.
Thanks, Tom. Question for Max. Max, you said something on the radio, and you mentioned just now about catching your hand in the cockpit. Has it happened before? What was it? I mean, could there be a reoccurrence, or was it just an unfortunate move that you made at the time?
No, I think it must have been something unfortunate that I got stuck. I think it was between the wheel and my knee. Yeah, it never happened to me before, but I literally was just staring towards the wall. So, yeah, just I guess an unfortunate action.
Okay, thank you, Max. Thanks to all three of you, and best of luck tomorrow. Thank you.